Have you ever blacksmithed? No. I need to watch a video one day of like it's like a actual blacksmith. And it was one of those like blacksmith reacts to videos or movies of, you know, blacksmithing. And it just makes fun of them because like movies are so bad and stupid when it comes to like representing like hackers, representing blacksmiths. That's what I would have did. That guy who convinced everyone he's a serial killer or something. Was it Blacksmiths React? Oh yeah, here we go. This is it.
I love Mark Wahlberg, but at the rate he's swinging, it would take him 3 days to draw that steel out. Hi, my name is Neil Kamimura. I'm a bladesmith, blacksmith from Hawaii. My business name is T. Kamimura Blacksmith. It was established in 1932 Hilo from my great-grandfather. Today we're going to be looking at some blacksmithing scenes and some forging scenes of some movies, and we're going to see how real they are. Robert Downey Jr. has the best hammer swing. It looked like he had practiced. He was standing close to the anvil, and he's basically cold forging mild steel. So cold forging is not using heat to make it pliable like clay. Like he's actually just hitting steel cold. I don't quite understand, like, for one, why he has the forge lit in the back since he's cold forging it. I don't know what he was doing because the steel had no color to it. He was probably forging it at low heat, just kind of getting it to work. But he's cooling it off because it looks cool. They love the steam.
I love seeing people who actually do this shit react to like movies portrayal. Careful.
It looks like he's holding a cup of tea because the crucible isn't hot. I personally don't think it would create a perfect ring. It would have to be like a wax mold that you cast from both sides with sand. It wouldn't just be pouring some hot
I don't think there's a single scene where he's like, that looks good.
Yes, that's what I would do.
Electronic ready ring. I would give this a 7 only because I like Iron Man.
Okay, Rambo.
You know where you are. What you're made of.
Oh boy, this is the one that I absolutely hate the most. It's not because I don't like Rambo. I love Rambo, but the problem is that, like, for one, that's a real shop. That's a shop that
he's never happy.
So there was somebody in that vicinity that knows what they're doing. 2, Sylvester Stallone sells a Rambo knife every release, and he has knife maker friends. I'm friends with Jason Momoa. I would never let him do a forging scene like this in a million years. And he's using a ball peen hammer like out of a mechanic's chest. A ball peen hammer is a pound, you know, or maybe 12 ounces. Like my hammer's 4 pounds. And I'm pretty sure he likes to lift weights, so I don't know why he wouldn't use a real hammer.
What you're made of.
See right there, he just keeps hitting it on the end. All he's doing is putting square hardy holes markings in the bottom of that thing. So here's your anvil, right? You have the horn. It's so sexy, right? You got this horn. You got this nice curve on the back, right? And then you have the center mass in the middle. Then there is a 1-inch square hardy hole. And that is meant for putting tools in there. You have to remember that the steel is hot, and you're just banging on a square hole, you'll flip it over and you just have square hole marks all over it. I don't know why they don't tell him, hey buddy, hit in the center of the anvil. Like, why do you keep hitting it over the hole?
When you're pushed.
Oh, he's gonna keep going with this scene.
When you take steel at that temperature and you quench it in water, it microfractures. 5160 should be quenched in oil, but it doesn't need to be quenched because he's obviously not done forging it and didn't make anything but a pancake on the end of a leaf spring. 2, it's some magical water because he quenches it in water and he lifts it up and it's still hot, which that is also not realistic. Like, you put it in water, it would lose its heat immediately. Maybe he just sucks at forging so bad that it was so thick that he didn't do anything to it, so it still held its heat. I hold this to a higher accountability is every Rambo movie he's forging. How many Rambos is there? Like 5 Rambos? Like, how has no one been like, hey buddy, you absolutely suck, you should not do those scenes anymore, or go take one lesson to do it? I give it a 1 Rambo. Like, I love the movie, I just don't like the forging scene. Edge to edge. But at least they took the handle off on this one. Some of them are pinned and a lot of them are through, and then the pommel is what holds it on. But you definitely can't just take it and be like, and then it comes off, you know what I mean? So when you're melting steel in like an open face crucible like that they were doing, somehow the sword is melting on a black surface, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. Swords that
What movie is this?
were poured and casted like that were bronze. They weren't steel. It takes about 3,000
Oh, is this Game of
degrees
Thrones?
to
Okay.
melt steel, that kind of steel. Bronze is a lower melting temperature, and so that was a lot easier to melt and cast. But when they do cast it, it wasn't in an open face. On both sides was it casted, so that you pour it in the top and it fills up and makes a perfect mold. The sword would look like a cookie on a baking sheet, you know? So that's just bullshit. I don't quite understand how they got one sword and melted it, and you somehow made enough to make 2 swords now. But you actually lose mass as you melt steel like that. I would definitely give that a 4.
Oh no, this can't be good.
The thing that I did like about this scene is that they had it actually in a cast, like in a mold, and he was breaking the mold out of it. There's many different techniques. You can cast an axe because it's generally not made out of very great steel, because it needs to take a lot of abuse, versus like a chef knife has to be the highest quality of carbon steel because it needs to be razor sharp. Axes are brute, that force that needs to be tough versus razor sharp. I've never seen a steel butt forge weld like that in one hit, and it wasn't hot enough. And if you ever put wood next to something that hot, it would disintegrate. You don't hold it to such a high accountability because it's not real. A tree dude is giving his arm for a handle. I mean, you can't take it too seriously. I don't understand why he didn't just cast it in one.
All right, enough of this.